Cool Album Covers, Episode 25. I'm Rich Batchelor.
And I'm Mark Major.
Welcome to the world of Exotica, the sounds of Martin Denny, and a very special gal. Sandy Warner. She's the Exotica girl, and she was the Exotica girl for all of the Martin Denny Exotica-related albums, plus a couple other ones like The Enchanted Sea and Denny on Broadway. Well, here she is. Boy, she sure is exotic, peeking through those beaded curtains and everything, just like an Oriental. And she has that thing on her forehead, too, like, you know, they do.
Looks like they took a Christmas ornament and just jammed it into her hairline.
Just go with it. Oh, okay, you know.
It must have been a very sort of inexpensive shoot.
Kind of looks like a still out of an early Star Trek episode. It
does, especially with those weird red alien lips.
Yeah. Well, and so, when the time has come again to move forward with your, Exotica, where do you go next? She's back! And this time has black hair, you know, like an exotic would, but is still very much a Caucasian chickie. Exotica Volume 2, by the way, it's got a couple nice tunes on it, but more or less it's kind of a pale imitation of Exotica 1. But then again, as we move forward in time, and yeah, by now he's really kind of running out of ideas. He has, at this point, plundered the Les Baxter songbook over and over again, obviously saying to himself, I gotta move on and do something different, but hey, in the meanwhile, Sandy, what do you say you dye your hair blonde again? And she's like, alright.
How come it's just her head on all of these? Even the last one, Exotica 2, there was so much space dedicated to nothing. Her head took up just a tiny bit of the cover and no shot of her body.
Actually, I don't get it either. Yeah, like it was just her head at the bottom of a shot of her standing around the La Brea tar pits or something, and this here, it's like she's in a closet or something with a flashlight on her.
Yeah, inexpensive shots, that's for sure. Let's move on to another Martin Denny album.
Now that he has plundered the theoretical sounds of the South Pacific, it is time to do the other colonial thing you do and go to Africa.
Which one's the mask?
Yeah, she's a blonde, white African. Well, I guess she's a South African. There's a whole lot of almost certainly offensive stuff on this album. You know, not because of anything. It's not trying to say anything at all, but songs like Mogumba and so on here, they're great songs. They're catchy.
Kids love them.
But they, yeah, boy oh boy.
You know, they had a bunch of bird calls they would do on the first Exotica albums. I wonder if they switched to some of the African species for this.
You know, there still are a whole bunch of guys standing around in the corner trying to sound like a bird noises on this one.
And then the sound of flies on elephants. Let's move on to another Martin Denny album.
There she is again in her quiet village.
We finally get to see the girl this time, though. I've been waiting so many covers to see her, and now that's what she looks like?
Yeah, is that a sarong, or is it so wrong? That's a joke we like to make in Les Baxter territory. It's kind of funny that Les Baxter sort of had two careers, one as himself, and another having almost all of his songs covered by Martin Denny.
Yeah, you'll recall that the Baxter albums, he has vocal choirs. And a bit more symphonic, whereas the Martin Denny covers are 4 or 5 dudes making bird sounds, hitting coconuts together, rattling sticks, you know.
Yeah, like natives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and here she is now, looking ever so Primitiva, standing there freezing in that waterfall.
And she's wearing some sort of Land of the Lost outfit.
Yeah, you know, a good, probably 20 years before Land of the Lost. A pioneer. You know?
Yes, she crash-landed somewhere, and she's wearing skimpy outfit that's been ripped.
She just beat the hell out of Raquel Welch. It's the year 10,000 BC. Seems to be actually openly imploring the cameraman at this point, like, okay, I've been standing here. I'm continuing to stand here. It's freezing. Would you like some water? I've cupped some here in my hands.
Yeah, what is up with the cupping of the water?
Well, you know, she's very primitive. She doesn't own a cup.
I'm primitive with my lipstick, my mascara, my done-up hair, and my lack of cup.
That's some designer buckskin you're wearing there, I notice.
I would like to give credit, though. This is not just someone in a studio shot in front of a green screen with then a waterfall added. They actually went on location and found a waterfall, and that's probably taken at a zoo, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's like, do you think I could get out of here now? And speaking of getting out of here now...
Yes, it is time to go, people.
We sure do like to conclude things, and we're glad to have you back.